deep dive into, if you haven't seen the video, I did a video of a box that Mantic Games sent me. And I wanted to do one of the first model kits out of there. We're going to do deep dives into all these model kits as a review and an unboxing, really, of this kit. I'm going to go over the game, I'm going to go over the pieces, and we're going to do a little building as well. I am doing a little bit of a different setup with my camera this time around, so we're going to see how this goes. And hopefully I won't have too many crazy mistakes as we are. And again, it's a late night painting session. I wanted to get the video out and talk to you guys and have some stuff. And I had a little bit of technical difficulties with my other video tonight, so that's why we're a little bit late. But anyway, Kings of War Vanguard. Kings of War Vanguard is Mantic Games' title, which for folks that might be more familiar with GW and their way of doing things, it's almost like their version of Kill Team or Warcry, if you're familiar with Warcry from from GW's line. But I'm really excited because not only is this their squad-based game, but the Northern Alliance is a new alliance. Interesting. Is a new alliance for them. So they're we're gonna get to see the plastic format models because most of their model line. Most of their model line. Oh, geez. Let me go back down here. Sorry, guys. Like I said, working with a slightly new setup this time around. So we're gonna all learn together. Really, really interesting because I don't know why it just decided to readjust its focal length. That's really interesting. Is it trying to autofocus on me? Okay. Well, anyway. So this is not only their new model line, but it's also like I said, their squad-based game. Now, what's cool about their Vanguard game is that whether you play the small squad-based game of Vanguard, or a lot of reflecting on that box, or if you play their larger Kings of War game, all the pieces are interchangeable. So you can 100% get those pieces in both aspects of the game. So you're not at a disadvantage if you go with one or the other. Northern Alliance, to give them kind of a little bit of their lore and a little bit of who they are. They're like Viking snow people. So they have, your typical, and we're going to review the units in here. We're going to review what's inside the box. This retails for $40, this Warband. And this Warband, like if you buy this is literally what you need to play. A starting game of Kings of War Vanguard in there. We're going to review everything that's in the box. One thing that might scream at you if you're somebody who's a GW player is that I just said, okay, so it is, oh good, it is autofocusing. I didn't think it was doing that. Yeah, as a GW player, there are 20 models in this box for only $40. So when we talk about Mantic Games in general, their cost value is so amazing. They really, really, really try to have you have a good balance. And we're going to talk about some other variations in there. Now, if we look at the back of the box, you're going to see what is inside the box. And I will do my best to try to get that glare out of there for you guys. I almost got it to focus. So anyway, yeah, the glare is just really bad, but I tried to give you guys a little bit more light because that was one of the complaints I had in one of my previous videos. So you'll see there we get two of, and we're going to go over the units when we open up the box. I'm a little rusty on the name of the units because, like I said, this is a new faction for them. But we get two of this model, so two of the exact same model. But you'll notice here we get variations. So whenever you see on the box where they give you a variation of a model, what's a little bit different, oh man, all right, so we'll look at the models themselves. But what's a little bit different with the with Mantic games is that when they give you, let me just see. I wanted you to try to trick the camera. No, I can't. All right, so we have to keep it. We have to keep it in the strike zone that I've created for it. But what I was going to say was, when you get variations on the box, you actually get 2 of that model. So like when you see that there is a model variation, it's not like GW, where GW, so Games Workshop, who makes Warhammer, will give you simply the pieces to customize the model in that way. Games Workshop does this to save time on models because they want to basically sell you one kit that could make 3 or 4 variations. And then also it means you have to buy the same kit over and over again if you, for whatever reason, want one of each of those units, because maybe you want to build a variant list. But in Kings of War, they're literally going to give us those full models and variations, so you don't have to think, do I want to customize it, because you get both models. So if you think about it, they said 20 models in the box. So if you add it up, we get 2 of this one, we get 10 of these guys, we get 2 of these, so 14, we get 2 of this, 16, we get 2 of this, 18, we get 2 of that, 20. So that's what's one really cool variation to all of the Kings of War models and all of the Vanguard models, is that whenever you see them, you're going to get all of those models. So that's why there's a big proposition value for the model kits that are there. Not really much else going on in the box art. We have, of course, the warning labels and all that good stuff. Now, this is a plastic model kit, so they are moving to plastic model kits. They usually were using resin before this. So without further ado, let's open up this sucker. We can see a little further, and then we'll start building this. And of course, as always, as we're live, if you guys have questions or comments, please let me know. I didn't know where to put them. You know, Twitch, funny enough, does not have a Kings of War section on it, which is very interesting to me. So that's why I put it in the makers and crafters. Because, I mean, honestly, this, to be honest, another thing about Kings of War and Vanguard in general is that, so Vanguard is actually a squad-based game, so you do actually use these units individually. But for their Kings of War game, you do it more in a regiment fashion. So you can build very complex, like, cool dioramas, which is very nice. So again, box is now very empty. And what do we get inside? Well, we get our lovely plastic sprues. Now, if we notice, well, we're going to go through the instructions in a minute. Now, I notice we got a wood tile printed base, I think. So I think this is one of our bases. We also have a square tray. Now, because this is the Vanguard set, similar to the Games Workshop, I'm going to have to get this to focus up. Oh, come on, focus. There we go. So you guys will see, sorry. So you guys will see we have the Yeti. I'm trying to figure out how do I get that to go away. I needed to focus. Not make it go away. Sorry, guys. Alright, I think I'm going to switch back. I think I I'm going to switch back to... Sorry. Alright, actually might be fine. Get out of the glare. But yeah, so sorry guys for the lighting weirdness. Oh, there we go. All right. Sorry, guys. So yeah, so jeez, it's like so annoying. All right, so my light is okay. There you go. So yeah, these are cards for the Vanguard creatures. So this is your ability card. So we'll talk more about these in a minute. These are more of the bases. So you'll notice for Kings of War, bases are slightly different, or the idea of how they do bases is slightly different. And you do get bases like this. So I'm going to be quite honest. This is kind of one of the things I like about Kings of War, is that they don't really waste time giving you, like, they don't give you, like, I mean, so would I like more, you know, robust bases, or would I like more bases that are, like, modeled? Sure. But the idea in Kings of War is that you can create dioramas, because you move a lot of, in Kings of War, the larger game, the war game, you move bases in regiment form. So you want to make sometimes dioramas, because you move the whole thing as one unit. But they also give you the ability to make singular bases so you can separate them. So maybe you want to use their models in other types of things, like in an RPG, or you want to use them in some other form. So they don't waste time giving you like more larger plastic or heavier plastic bases. They do get simple with the bases, which is fine. You will also notice there are no build instructions. They don't include build instructions in the box, but they have a site and a place you can go digitally to look at all of the build instructions. So what I would like to do, we may not get to build everybody today. I want to at least build the Yetis, so going back to what I said before, which this is our bag of Yeti stuff. So our bag of Yeti stuff, you'll see, like I said, if I open this up, and like I said, if you guys have questions while we're doing this, or while you're watching, please let me know. Now, these are, of course, plastic model kits, so these are not resin, so I don't have to do anything. If it was a resin kit, I'd have to treat it. I'd have to clean the resin because it has a chemical on it, so you have to clean it with soap, usually. Alright, so these are all our little bits. There's a little bit bag in there. Okay, actually, it wasn't just the Yetis in here, so... Oh boy, okay. So let me get all the Yeti pieces. Okay, there's like a couple of different people in here. So some of our singular characters were in here as well. Oh, actually, then I take back what I said. So I was saying before... So it might be different for the plastic models. I know it was true of their resin models, so this might actually be an eye-opener for me, because you do in fact only have one Yeti in here. So Interesting. Alright, so you only get one Yeti. So it looks like with the plastic models, they actually switched it up a little bit. So I did speak out of turn, and I do apologize for that. Because if I'm looking at these pieces in here, and specifically I look at the torsos, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there's 10 models there. But for the Yeti, we do only have one Yeti, and we do only have... Yeah, so we do only have one of each of the other models. So, so when they are saying 20, they are talking about variations you can build with those models. So, it is a little bit different. Oh, because he's already got the other hand sculpted. So it's whether you want to give him the rock or if you want to give him the club. Okay, so they are doing a little bit more like traditional GW. So it may be a different mix. And when we do our Kings of War unboxings and we're building those models, we may or may not have some different variations there. Because if we look at the cards, you know, we have a couple of different ways to go. So, oh geez, these cards are like laminated. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to show them. Hold on, let's see if I can focus on my card here. Ah. Let me see if I can focus on the card, guys. Hold on. Oh, it just wants to focus on that one area. Okay. It's mostly because the card's laminated. All right, here, I'll throw the card up on here so you guys can see it. I'll give you just a quick shot of it. So, the idea here is that this is the Troll Prime. Yeah, it's really interesting. So what's interesting about the way that they did this is that they have Icekin Hunter. So the way that they're doing their cards, you just have like your basic Snow Troll, and then you have the Snow Troll Prime. So I have to imagine that the Snow Troll Prime, so if I give you guys that box again, the Snow Troll Prime, whoa, I think the Prime is the guy with the rock. Man, the glare on this is like super duper crazy. Because everything is laminated. But yeah, the Snow Troll Prime is... I think it's the guy with the rock. And I think the regular troll is the one with the club. But going back to what I said, it looks like Mantic Games is going a little bit more the route of GW, where they are actually only doing variations. But Vanguard, again, is their squad-based game, so similar to like Warcry or Kill Team, you know, you're going to build a squad out of these units. So you have all these different units that you can build out of and figure it out. So, you know, I'm going to just build my model the way I want to. I know there's a lot of folks out there that are big, like, you know, building it, what you see, what you get. Like, you want to build it exactly the way that it's going to be loaded out. I'm not usually a big fan of this. Now, you'll notice the Kings of War models, the Vanguard models, and Kings of War models do not come with instructions. This, again, we're going to check this out and see if this all holds. This is plastic. So I believe I don't have to treat this like I would normally resin. We're going to find out in just a second. Because if it doesn't stick at all, then I know I got to treat it like resin. Okay, the fact that it just fell off like that probably might mean that I might have to actually wash these. And if that's the case, then this will be more of a model review. We'll do more of the building later. Yeah, because I don't really see that sticking at all. They do say plastic models. They do not say resin models on the box. So we shall see if the super glue will hold. I don't know, but if you want, yeah, I'm gonna use my iPhone. Well, because now I don't even know what I did, but I think I put this into. Okay, there we go. No, it's not focusing at all. Oh, this is so annoying. Oh, sorry, guys. All right, let's. Oh, there we go. I think the camera is too. I don't know why it's not showing up. Yeah, it's too far away. All right. So I think I've learned a lesson with this video. We're 100% going. Okay, actually, that might work. The minute I hold it up, that's really weird. Yeah. All right, great. My camera doesn't want to focus. All right, if you guys give me 1 second, I'm gonna fix this. We'll get it into that video. We'll fix it. Hold on 1 sec. I will have a fix for us in just a moment. You just bear with me. I had this waiting in the wings in case this happened. Which I think is kind of funny. So just bear with me for 1 second. Because of this stupid thing on the back. Oh, that's fine. Right, give me 1 sec, guys. I'm having a little bit of a technical issue with this, and going forward, I will just stick with what I know, stick with my guns, because as I discovered. All right, there we go. So give me 1 sec. All right, so this is in fact plastic. I can tell you that much. So the mystery of is this plastic or not? Oh, I had 2 heads. No, shoot. I didn't know there were two heads. I didn't want that head. All right. I'm gonna have to rip it off now. Alright guys, you're going to see a really rare moment in this video where I'm going to you're going to see a very rare moment because I'm going to be moving camera equipment around. Whoa. But luckily, I had planned for this inevitability because I had a funny feeling this was going to happen to me. So stay tuned. It's going to go dark for a moment. But I will get the picture back. Oh, jeez Louise. Because like I said, I had this inevitability predetermined. So I will be back in just a moment. Oh, there we go. Perfect. So not really an interrupt in our mission of getting some stuff done. All right, perfect. And that is going to be my new standard for doing this. So what I messed up on is that, as you will see, so you guys can see a better version of the model now. So you can see the detail on that. It's really, really good. Yeah, there we go. I'm okay. So maybe that wasn't actually, maybe that's not sticking. So I have two heads. I want to go with the more angry head. Now, like I said, I'm pretty sure this is, it says plastic models. So I don't believe I have to do what normally you do with a resin model, which is treat it. So normally a resin model, you have to wash it off because it gets a, but I am noticing that it's not really sticking with the glue. Although lately I've noticed that this glue I'm using a different super glue than I normally use. I think I'm just going to order on Amazon the one that I actually like using, which is Lockheed glue. I find this glue is not fast drying, and I think that's why it's taking a little bit longer. It's gel, which it's better than the liquid, but I think it takes longer to dry, which has become an annoying thing. All right, yeah, we're gonna use my phone the whole time because it's just better. But yeah, so I do apologize again for having the the Vanguard pieces a little bit wrong on how they're put together. Let me just see something really quick. So you guys can see what I'm working on. So I will say I like their plastic models. I like the difference in models, so they have a little bit of a different feel to them. What I like about Mantic is that I feel like, as somebody who played Warhammer Fantasy, I really, really like their take on creatures and fantasy models. So, and what I also like about them is that I didn't need any instructions to build that. Building that took a really short period of time. It's very easy to put the pieces together. Again, it's a larger model, so it's a little bit bigger scale, so obviously it makes it easier too. But it was really simple, really easy, and even though it's a simpler model, maybe the detail you might feel is a little bit simpler, although I think the details on these are really good. Again, if you just take a lot of time on the paint and you do some dynamic things with that painting, it's going to look just as fabulous as a GW model. And again, just to give it some comparison to a GW model, again, this is a larger character, obviously. I think the level of detail is the same, especially with the newer plastic models that they're making. Some of the older resin models, again, going back to if you're a fantasy player, Warhammer Fantasy was very much like that, and they look very similar. But like I said, I love the fact that I just built an ogre, a frost giant, And that took like 2 seconds. Now, like I said, I apologize that I was misleading with Mantic and how they were doing their models. It is true with their older models that they were doing it that way. So it looks like I said, they are going with the extra bits road. So you do only get a variation bit. So, you know, when they say 20 models in the box, it doesn't seem like that you potentially could make variations, including variations. So just to clarify again, if you see on their box that you have the you have like the arrow pointing, the arrow is a variation. So when they say 20 miniatures, if you think about it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there are 16 models really in the box in total. Variations put them at a higher. So, all right, cool. Now, if we look at the box, so again, alternative assembly. All right, and they do say that. They say the arrow means alternative assembly. So now what Viking do we want to make? I want to make the guy with the sword. So if I want to make the guy with the sword. So, okay, that troll was very quick. And it looks like it is sticking. It is taking to the glue. So that's good. Alright, now this, I don't know if it's going to really stick that well. We're gonna see. Because we're gluing plastic onto glue. I think it'll stick pretty well. Let me just... Sorry, guys. Oh, yeah, no. So we're going to keep that. I apologize. Oh, I thought we were going to change angles. We're not going to change angles. We're gonna stick with the angle we got. I'm sorry that this is like a massively weird video. Okay. Come on. Again, every time I change my setup, there's always a variation to what I'm doing. Jeez Louise. Okay. Now, like I said, I do think it's cool. Yeah, I don't know. I might have to use a different type of glue to get this to sit. Because I don't think crazy glue is going to work on this type of base, because you're trying to glue plastic onto wood. So I might actually opt for an Elmer's type of glue for this. We'll see. I'm going to try to hold it a little bit more, see if that works. Definitely work to glue the model together. So going back to what I said, it's just, you know what the problem is his feet are there are a lot of ridge to his feet. So I don't know if the super glue is going to take. I don't know if it's going to hold. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to see if the weight of him is enough to, if the weight of the model is enough to stick it on there. I don't think it's going to be, but I'll leave him be just for right now. All right, so now we're going to work on our Viking. Yeah, so again, what I like about the cards is that now I can show you the cards properly. So again, you have Northern Alliance, you have their special ability card. So they have Hardy Veterans, use this ability when a model would be knocked down, spend 1 power. Get the steady ability, which is pretty cool. Talisman Pack, Northern Alliance Warbands may take 1 additional large model than the game size would normally allow. So that's why it may be to your advantage to get another set of Northern Alliance models, because you could do that. Now, you'll see here you can take multiple move characteristics for Huntmen, right? So they give you a lot of them. They give you a lot of the shield guys. They give you a lot of the dwarf clansmen. Now, here's what we're making right now. So if I make the one I wanted, that really is Huskarl. If you make the other model, well, maybe there is no variation. So Huskarl is Huskarl. Is there only one? Okay, there is only one. So the variation, that's weird. Oh, unless that is the Klansman. But that's a different model. Warband Klansman. Unless they're giving you... Oh, I see what they're doing. They're giving you all the Alliance cards in one box. This is similar to how they do Warcry. So they're giving you Alliance cards that are faction-specific spells. So they're giving you all of the Warband cards that you need, but you're not building all that stuff in this one box. Which is why there's so many other things. So the only units that we have in this box is the Herschel unit. Oh, whoops, I'm off camera. Herschel unit. Our snow guys. So I would be doing the Snow Troll Prime. I think that's the one I'm going to be doing. So Vicious Swipe. Yeah, and they don't really give you a weapon. They just give you stats for the model, which is pretty cool. Like I said, all right. So I want to do the guy with. All right. So, oh geez, Louise. Okay. So good news. Like I said, it is definitely plastic because it just stuck to that with no problem. Oh geez. Okay. I just lifted that up. All right. So that's definitely not stuck on there. Cool. So let's put this to the side. Let's put this to the side. All right. Yes, they are being a little bit different with the sprues than they were. All right. So I need that for my guy. Now, also the way that they do their sprues, you can actually pull off many of the pieces just by themselves. That's your frost guys. That's the ladies. So I think these are just all heads. Yeah. So these are all heads. Now his actual arms. What does he have? If I'm making this guy, he's got like a ice spear. Okay. So that's not gonna be on this sprue. So this sprue is gonna go that way. I think it's going to be in this. Yep, there it is. So that rock spear thing, that's what I need. So that's kind of cool. I actually like that they do that. So they actually mold pieces and put them in a bag versus putting them on the sprue. Because I think that's a downfall of GW. Because GW will put the whole model on a sprue. And sometimes they put very delicate things on the sprue. And I find that, for me, I sometimes break those delicate things. And then also what's nice about this is I think they literally put all the weapons in one place. So now I can just like sit there, grab what I need, and keep that all nice and tidy for the rest of my building. So I like that little aspect for the Vanguard Kings of War stuff. So let's get... I called him a Viking, but his is not a Viking. He's like a Herschel is the name. But they Northern Alliance are basically Vikings. They're very much Vikings, but they do have factions with humans and dwarves. So they are, because in their lore, they sort of band together. Oh, that fits nice and tight. I like that. So that's another cool thing. I like that they make it so like you're pushing that in. I put glue to like keep that there, but it's pushing in. So it's a little bit more socketed. I like that they do that. They make socketed corners. So you're pushing the pieces in and then just putting a little bit of glue to really give so it's nice and firm. And it also means that the model is put together very easily. Which is, I think, one of the reasons why they actually don't include instructions with the model. Because you'll see, if you look in here, it's got a shape to it, so it can only go one way. So, not that they're snapped together model kits, they're not. I would still probably put glue. Oh, jeez. Okay, whoop. Nice. Yeah, see, that's really cool, because that's like, bang, it's right in there. Very cool. He's looking awesome. And like, again, these are the new plastic models. I think the detail is really, really good on these. Like, I think the detail is not bad. Not bad at all. In my opinion. They're not too shabby. Alright, so we need one more arm for him. What is he holding in his other? So he says like a regular hand. Alright, is that regular hand in here? And I think I just answered my own question. The answer is yes. I think, just judging by his bulkiness, I think this is the hand. And by all means, guys, if you have any questions or comments, or just want to know more about what we're doing because you're not familiar with the game, please, please, please let me know. But we're putting together the Northern Alliance set of pieces for Mantic Games Kings of War. And again, I want to thank Mantic Games for sending me this model kit and sponsoring this video. So if you're not familiar with them as a company, they make the game Vanguard, which we're putting pieces together now. Kings of War Vanguard, which is it's the smaller squad-based game for their larger war-based game, which is Kings of War. So the cool part is all the pieces that are in, all the Kings of War pieces, you can by all means, you can use them in Vanguard, and vice versa. You can use. Oh, I think I had it right. That was right. Okay, that's a little challenging to put that together. Yeah, so this is why I would definitely still glue them together. They're not, even though they do have grooves and they have shapes that they go in, I'd still throw some glue in there. But not too shabby at all. I really like this guy. I'm gonna put it. I'm sorry that I cropped my camera a little bit to give you guys a more tighter shot, and because I did that, I'm not necessarily always hitting the camera the right way because I gotta get used to it. I also put a new light for you guys so we can see a little bit. Now, a couple of things with their models I would still do. So, like for instance, I just noticed that there's a little bit of excess plastic, so you still want to sand down some of that. But they're what I like about these, I will say it right now, they are substantial. I like that they're heavy. Like, their models are heavy. They're not like GW models where they're very light. Now, I like that for one reason. If they're on the table, you're not going to drop them, which is another thing that I like about their models. So, like, this is a solid piece of plastic. Like that Snow Yeti is like a solid piece of plastic. Like, it's dense, which I like. But they're still getting some really cool detail. Like, look at the details they have on there. So I don't think that these models are too. I think they're high detail. So a lot of people may make comments that they think that these models are not high detail. I think they are. Oops, I got stuff on me. Okay, so that's on a larger base. Who's on a larger base then? I guess he's on a larger base. Does that make sense? Because if I put him on, yeah, he's on the larger base then. Yeah, he's on a larger base. This character. Okay. So yeah, they gave me one larger base, and this is what their typical bases look like. I think they're actually meant to be this way. That's a really good question. I don't know which way the bases are supposed to go. I don't know if they're supposed to go circle side up or circle side down. I would think it's down so you can put a weight in the base, and I think that's what the point of the circle is. So you can put weight the bases down, or you can magnetize the bases. I think that's why they did that. Because then you can build a larger tray, a move tray, with a diorama for the going back to what I said, when you do the larger Kings of War scene. I'm gonna actually just look that up really quick because I am not 100% sure. Yeah, so like I said, they have an amazing amount of tutorials on their website to help you figure out, what or how to do things. Let's just go back for a minute. Shoot. Sorry, guys. I feel like I'm letting you down. And what's cool about this game too is that you notice that they did like a 3D printing wood base for the Yeti. Everything has just a base size. So you can decide how to do things. I think just looking at the actual example, I think that it looks like they are okay. I see what they're doing. So no, I think it is the no, actually I think it's the opposite. I don't know. Now I'm confused. I knew I was going to run into a snag. They do have tutorials. They have tutorials. I tried to quickly find an answer on their website, but they have a ton of videos to show you. And what I like about it too is they have videos on creating the diorama bases. So I think the idea is that you do it with this side up. Then you're just gonna have to fill the base in. That's why it's annoying. I'm gonna. Let me see here. Is it turn? Are they curved down? Let me just feel them. Yeah, I would say that I would just do them that way. Because it just makes more sense to do them that way. In all seriousness and fairness, I think it makes more sense to do the bases. I'm just shaving off this extra plastic. I think it makes more sense to do it that way than doing it this side up, because you're just gonna have to fill it in anyway. This gives you a nice flat side, although I think they are angled this way, so maybe the intention was to have you do it that way. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Because I want a flat base, because then I can theme the base how I want. I don't have to. So I play these guys in Kings of War. Nah, you're supposed to put them on this side. Yeah, you are supposed to put them on the other side. Crap. All right, so what I'll do is, yeah, you are way more, yeah. There are grooves. It's textured on that side, so you are supposed to put it. So what I'm gonna do with him is, because I put glue on the other side, which was stupid. I'm just gonna do that. Yeah, you do want to put them on the rounded sides. So, yeah, because they're like super slick on this side, and they're textured on the other side. So you're gonna want the texture on the other side. But it does mean that if you put them on this base, you will have to use some technical or something to fill in this base. with gravel or with something, because you're gonna have holes in the base. Versus if you go the other way, because you can see it's not intended. It's so slick. Now, if you sand the top of the plastic, that would, if you actually sanded it and buffed it so it gets like scratchy, that would be another way to do it too. But yeah. And he actually did stick, sort of. His foot didn't stick, but the rest of them stuck. All right, we got two models done. That was fast. It actually is really fast. I'm doing it all off of like looking at the box and just grabbing the pieces that I'm supposed to have. That's how I've been building these. So if you are very visual models, I would say my method of doing it is probably helped by the fact that I've put a lot of models together. So looking at a picture and looking at how the model should be is pretty easy. Yeah, I'm definitely not going to do these videos this late. I'm noticing nobody's here. But I have to see this video through. So, or we might do a 2-part video for this one, because I have another 10 of these to do. So let me try to get at least the special characters done, and then we'll do that. Now, I also noticed there are proofs of purchase. Oh, that's right. I didn't mention this about the box. There are what are called Mantic points, and I believe this is used on their website for rewards as players. So every box top has points on it. I think you can use the points to redeem for special characters or special things through them. So there's some really cool things. So be mindful of that when you open the box. I forgot to mention that they have proofs. You want to cut those off. Okay, let's look at this lady. Okay, so we have her body. I got that far. Now it says I can make 2 of her, but I don't believe that unless there are more of her on the sprue. And I'm just... Oh, really? There's a timer on the light. Okay. Yeah, something is going on with Twitch. Or it might just be my preview. I don't know. I'm going to Sorry, guys. I'm just... Alright, I think everything's good now. Alright. I'm, like, struggling to find the pieces. But, no, I do like their sprues. I do like how organized everything is. Alright, so all these guys are here. Alright. Alright, no, so this is going to be all of the infantry guys. So these 2 sprues that we get in here, these are all of our regular unit guys. So we won't be building them. Alright, so everything I need to build her is probably in here. So she has... Okay. Alright, so we need that hand. Whoops. You saw it. It's like a... She's got like a... Well, this is a potential for... Yeah, which I am going to use this for. So this goes with this model. That's for our ice guy. Where is she? Where is she? There it is. Because I think she has like an ice wand, or she has like some sort of craziness. So we need that piece for her. We need her... Alright, that's the sack that I could have used. Maybe that's what I'm supposed to use. Hold on. Alright, if I see... What is this then? Oh no, this is her arms. Okay. Sorry, guys. I'm getting confused by these pieces. I do like that they put all these small pieces in one box. It does make your life a lot easier. Okay, so this is going to be for my assassin guys. And then as far as her head, now in her other arm, what is going on? Oh, it's this piece. She's holding this thing. Oh, because she's got a bow. Okay, that makes more sense. I think I could just twist this. I don't think I need to cut it. Usually twisting is bad, but their sprues are so large that you can twist off the pieces because they have really big, bulky sprues, which is nice because then you can just twist off the pieces and be done with it. You might want to still cut some of these though because they are quite small and quite delicate. So you may not want to go the route I'm going. Now head wise, trying to find her head. Head wise, that's her head. Oh jeez, I'm going off. Wow, I am so off camera. All right, her head is down here. That's her head. And like I said, guys, if you have questions or comments, please let me know. Now it looks like she has a sash. Oh no, because you have to put that in there. Okay, so I think we got all the pieces we need for her. So, oh, my light didn't go off. Why do I keep thinking my light went off? It's weird today. Today is just a weird day. Okay. All right, so we need. All right, so I need to put that. Oh, geez. Like again, I love how that just fits right in there. Like it's so much easier to put these together. I'm literally doing this with no build. Oh, geez, that was me. But it is very easy to put that in. I'm doing this with no build instructions. Like there are no build instructions in the box. Like I said, they have wonderful videos online that tell you how to build all their models. Why is this light going out? Oh my god! It's not. I guess actually, it is an hour. Okay, so I can't get mad. So I'm gonna have to run a power cord to that. I'm gonna have to run like a USB hub just to power all the things that I shoot with. Learning a lot of stuff today. Cool. So we got that. Yeah, she's got an arrow, which I think is a really cool model. She's an archer. So you can see the other hand. Whoops. Yeah, this is gonna be tough. I'm gonna flip this around. I think actually, oh no, that hand's got to go up there. Lord Almighty. Okay. Yeah, this is a little bit of a tougher build. I will admit that. All right. Yeah, so we have to. No. All right. Okay, so if you guys can see what I did there, yeah, this is a tougher build. This is not an easy build model because you have to layer it. Okay, hold on. So I think the way to do this, if I can make a suggestion, is get the hand. So if I'm in retrospect, I should have put the arrow she's holding's hand in first. So yeah, get that settled. All right. Again, all my fault. There we go. So it's got to fit. Basically, it's got to fit in a crevice. So you got to get it in the socket, and then you have to loop it down to the other end of the belt buckle. If you guys can see that. So see how this gem is there for the belt buckle? You want to get it tight around there. Probably be smart to put glue in both places. What I'm going to do is I'm going to overcompensate by putting more glue on top of here, so that when I put the bow in, the bow will sort of seal the deal of the arrow. Okay, wait. I'm putting it in wrong. That would be the reason that none of that's working. Yeah, and now this is going to want to stick to my finger. because if you guys have been with me and watched me put models together, I have a tendency to do that because I use super glue. Right, there we go. Almost. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to hold that there for a minute or two more. Okay, yeah, it's a little bit of a complex idea, but you have to make the arrow go one way to one side, and then you have to make the bow go to the other side. So once you do that, then she's pretty good to go. But again, so far I love these models because we're only doing like 4 pieces, you know. So that's another nice thing about it. Like the assembly is much. I find the assembly to be much easier. You know, maybe you struggle for a minute or two more on this side, but like I said before, everything is socketed. So it's just a matter of finding the right just have to find the right socket, and then once you find the right socket, the model all comes together. And like, look at how cool that is. I'm sorry that my light keeps going out, guys. I will fix it. But look at how cool. Like, it's very dynamic, very nice pose. She's got a lot of detail in there. A lot of detail on the armor. A lot of detail on the swaying. Oh, we got a little plastic artifact in there, which does want to come off, I think. So that's not part of the model, but very, very cool. Now, and she's in heels, so just very cool. I'm gonna just put her aside. I'm gonna probably base them differently, but you can see like our other gentleman who we based and we got in there. Like, very cool models. Very, very cool. All right. So I know I want to do the trident. If we do the trident, we don't need anything else. We just need the head for this guy now. So all of your frost folks, are they the same head? I think they are the same head. I think they are. I think they are the same head. But you get an additional head, which is kind of cool. Because obviously you can model bash this into other model kits that you have. So we're going to get that head on there. And like I said, because we're doing the spear. Now, I don't know. Let me just see something really quick. If we're looking at our Vanguard cards, equipment, Frost Trident. Okay, no. Actually, they all say Frost Trident. Okay, I was going to say, because I know in Warcry, they specifically do allow you to model the models differently in the box. So you can go ahead and make different models in the box. What is going on? Okay. So the reason why that wasn't working out is there was an extra piece of plastic right there. Extra piece of plastic. Alright, so, and like I said before, it's all about just finding Oh my! Wow, I'm putting the head on backwards. I literally was. Oh, jeez, Louise. I literally was putting it on backwards. Wow. Okay, so. Okay, nope. I am having the time of my life here. All right, so we need to not block that because that's his arms. I think it's his. Okay, there we go. So we got the head on. One achievement of the night. And then, now usually, when I do this with Game Workshop models, this is my nightmare. I always hate when they do pieces where you have to match, two different, there's another arm, which I didn't go get. Alright, let's get the head off because that's going to fall right off the minute that I do this. Because these models are a little smaller. Alright, so let's get... Alright, so if we look at it, it's like a T shape. Okay, so I think if we... No, I can't get that T shape. It's like a very small T. Wow. Alright, well, let's get that other arm before I glue this down and I regret everything. Alright, so these are all... They all have swords. I was just about to say. So it should be the arm you're looking for, and there it is something with just a nub. Okay, so this I am going to actually cut because what I'm concerned about for this one is it had... Yeah, see? Okay, that actually fit in very nicely. So that fit in very nicely. Yeah, this other one is not fitting in as nicely as that one did. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave that other one loose. And I'll tell you why I'm going to do that. It's going to help me in figuring out okay, there we go. Lord Almighty. Okay, come on. Everything's gonna fall out. Yeah, you know what it is? It's that it's not anybody's fault, but this particular arm, the one up here, it's very hard. Oh, wait. Okay. It's very hard to find the right center to where it's supposed to be. So it's not anybody's fault. It's just really hard. You're talking about a model. Jeez Louise. You're talking about a model it's just very tiny. These guys are really small. Okay. Yeah. But this is my pain with GW models too. Like, anytime you have to line something up, it's always difficult because I almost, it's because, it's difficult because, you know, they can do their best with it with a computer to make the they can do their best with a computer to get it to mold the plastic as best they can. But, you know, with everything in life, especially when you're talking about something that's engineered, there's an error of, you know, there's an error, there's a margin of error when you're measuring something or building something or putting something together. And if it's off by even a centimeter or a fraction, especially when it has to line up with another piece, that is going to impact your ability to get, whoa, come on. Oh man, it's because, no, that's not the model's fault. That's because it's stuck on my hand because of the super glue. See, but this is where it gets tricky. Oh man. All right, come on. And I'm also not finding the groove right of that arm. Like it's not sitting in there right. So what I might, you know, sometimes when I get to this point, I get frustrated with a model. I might start to like burrow out part of the arm or start cutting parts of it to make it fit. Because right now, if I were to, yeah, there we go. That's the way it's supposed to line up. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to put a little bit of super glue right there. There we go. All right, and now that we got all of that figured out, let's get a little bit more super glue. And let's get our head back on correctly. All right, there we go. So we got another one of our characters done. Not characters, but one of the more specialty units. And that's what's cool about like this little tiny box, which I really like, is that it gives you a lot of the variation of the Northern Alliance. So you can get a sense of what they are and who they are. Excuse me, guys. I'm just looking to see something. I'm going to see if I can fix a problem. Do I have an open? I do not have it open. Shoot. Okay. Alright, sorry guys for giving just... Took another pause. I apologize. Where? Today's like not my day for plugging anything in. Okay. I feel like all through today when I've been trying to plug stuff in, it just doesn't work. All right. So we're going to undo this. Oh, wait, is that? Oh, this is that adapter. So that's not going to work. Okay. So I don't think I can do anything with this besides... Okay. We'll just have to work with what we got. Because the light is definitely diminishing on my light. So, that stinks. But anyway. So, all right. We got 3 of our units done. This video is already like an hour and a half long. Alright, I was going to do the next lady. Basically, I wanted to do this, and then the infantry I might do as a second video. So we can take a look at that. But, yeah, so what we're going to do with her, and I'm actually going to use this little bag for my bits. Yeah, this light's going to just die. Alright, so I'm going to have to come up with an alternative idea of how I'm going to do that. But I think I have a solution. I think I have a way to do it. Alright, so you get a lot of different hands and shields. I don't think she ever has a shield. The shield was, so if we're counting our extra bits, we got sort of like guts and stuff. That was for our ice guy. We have a shield, which was supposed to be for the like kind of Viking looking guy. We had an alternative head for the Viking looking guy. We had an extra arm for our Yeti. We had an extra head for our Yeti. Oh, jeez. If you guys could see. Oh, you know what? It's because I put the camera on another side, so I keep, like, losing it. Alright, cool. So now we're going to grab whichever head we like for her. And I think I'm going to grab this particular head because I like the fact that the hair is a little bit more animated. And then she always has double blades, but we can go with this is going to be not... Alright, so here's what we're going to do with these. Not that there's anything wrong with them, but... I'm just trying to fit the arms in because I have to figure out how they go. Because, you know, going back to what I was saying before, you know, I like these models because they have the sockets, but then you have to sort of line up your sockets. So I'm going to, yeah, that's exactly what I wanted to do. I want to pre-line up the hands to make sure I have hands on opposite. I actually have the right type of hands. So I have two. I have a left and a right hand because I've done that before with kits that have kits where they've had multiple models like that, and I actually end up giving them two of the same hand. And I'm trying to look. Alright, so that actually looks wrong. Although that's the way it fit in there. Oh no, that actually looks somewhat right. Oh, you know what? Actually, I've taken okay, that's kind of cool actually. So I actually took a variation. I took one arm from one side and another arm from another side because yeah, there's the other arm. So I actually took one of each set. But it does work because it's the right hands, and I actually like that pose. It's a little bit more dynamic. So I will keep that. Yeah, I'm sort of a fan of that. If they give me alternative hands and stuff, I like doing that. I like taking yeah. It's funny when you get the glue in there. I love how when you get glue inside of something, like, so I just pre-did this, right? I pre-put it all in there so that I would understand like I just did this so I would pre-understand how this model was put together so I could easily put everything back in. I go and put glue in it, and then all of a sudden everything I did now where did the arm go that I was going to use? There it is. There we go. Now, just double checking. I'm looking at those hands. I'm sorry, guys. I know that this was a much better video when I had everything working, but there we go. My light got dimmer since the video started. All right, so we got her together. So we got basically our specialty models together. So as of right now, all of this that we see here, this is all extra bits. So this is all extra bits that you can use. I'm going to move this out of the way so you guys can see. But this is all extra bits. So everything that's on the sprue, all that. So I have to say I was mistaken with the way in which I gave you guys the rundown for this. But it is, they are doing it more typically like GW. So that's not a bad thing. I get it. You know, when you start making plastic models, in general, it's just, it does make sense that a company would start to do that. So they are doing more of the variations. It'll be interesting when we open up the, when I start to do the armies, my Force of Nature army that I got, what that box will look like, because I think that box does have variations in it, so it'll be interesting. But yeah, because I can't think of anything else I got that has variations. But yeah, it makes sense. I get it. I'm just putting the little bits in here because I'm gonna have to make a new container for Kings of War bits. All right, I think I'm just putting this in a bag that doesn't actually have an opening. All right, I will do this in a minute. But yeah, so we got at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the models together, which is not bad for me to explain a little bit and doing other stuff. I'm pretty pleased with that. But I will say again, and I'll say it a few more times, this was insanely easy to put together. Like, I did not feel like I was working hard. You know, maybe I had to set them for a little bit because, you know, I'm just, you know, I actually have never put together any of their Kings of War models. So, you know, that's not a bad thing. It's just I've never put them together, so yeah, I don't think that this is really on there. I'm just shoring up his feet because that back foot, you know, his fist and his front foot give a lot of surface area for the glue to get going. But I don't think there's a lot on there. But I do love these models. I think they look great. I think they look interesting. It's a different, you know, IP, obviously. It's a different lore that goes with it in that world. I'm going to figure out the bases a little bit more because it's intriguing to me that they're circular like that. Although, you know, Blood Bowl does the same thing. Blood Bowl and GW, they give you a base with a line through it. So that's kind of weird too. So it's not outlandish. I do have to believe, though, that, like I said, this side is the side we're using. This is not the side we're using because it's, you know, it's smooth. And it's hard to tell if they're, because if you can flip them over, it would probably actually make a little bit more sense. But I think they did this for magnetizing, so people can magnetize the bases. I thought they might also do it because then they make bases you can put other models, because something that Kings of War is big on is you subbing models. You can use other models from other games. So, and I don't have a Goblin model kit. Yeah, that's way bigger. Yeah, I don't have a Goblin model kit. I don't think that's an 8mm. Like, I don't have anything that's on that size base. Everything I have is 32. I think I feel like GW's base could fit in that, and that might be where they're going with it. So you can use GW, because if you think of a actually, do I have one? Do I have a Goblin? I think I have a Goblin. Wait. Looks like it's almost the same circle, and if I'm right, no. It's way bigger. Way, way bigger. Way, way bigger. Yeah, it's way, way bigger. So I thought maybe that would have worked. And then just to give a size comparison for Kings of War Vanguard, you know, that's a normal human. So I picked a Goblin because a Goblin obviously is small. But that's a goblin model in relation to, like, let's say a Yeti. So, and because Kings of War does regiments, that is the same square base as the round base you would play with in a GW game. Because they do everything in squares. Because they're doing that. Except this game, I believe you move as small skirmish units. So this is individual movement. So yeah, so those are all of our extra bits. And then the rest of what's in this box, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the rest of what's in this box is all infantry. Regular guys, so you do get 15 models in the box, which is still from a price standpoint, not bad. It's, $40 for 15 models. But we're not talking about just one model. We're talking about a dynamic of models. So, so I think that that's pretty cool. Like, I don't know any... Yeah, I really want this to dry. I'm trying to just, like, hold it down. I gotta stop playing with it. But yeah, you're getting a more dynamic base of units, with this. It's not just your typical... These are all the same bases, right? Yeah. It's not your typical, like, I feel like when you're talking about maybe some of the other war games out there, or other companies, I don't feel that value statement is there. They don't give you a range of models in one little box. Just a different way to think about a game. So I do really like that Kings of War and their Vanguard game does do that. They make, like, I was drawn to the game for that reason. They make very dynamic boxes where you get a good eclectic amount of them. Okay, so that's your 10. It's interesting. So they're giving you enough bases for that many models, but they're not giving you the pieces to make that many models. So yeah, 12 plastic miniatures with optional parts and Vanguard war cards. They give you a lot of Vanguard war cards. There's a lot more than 20 in here. And then, like I said, they're giving you I think they're giving you all the units in the Northern Alliance in this one box. And then you can buy those other units, because it's interesting. So maybe this was the newer units that they were going to release for that fraction. And then they decided to do that. So it's pretty cool, I have to say. But like I said, what I find very, very intriguing about it is, as I said, see, it doesn't make sense. It actually makes more sense to put them on the other side. I think the other side is what you're supposed to put them on. I think that circle. So I think I'm going to probably have to take that guy off the base. I think you're supposed to put them on the flat side. The only problem with doing it on the flat side is they slip. They slip a lot. They don't just, like, the glue doesn't just set. Like, it slips off a lot because there's no pores. I don't know. It's just very weird. There we go. He's going to fall off of that. Now again, maybe if I actually use plastic glue, it would be better. Because I don't use plastic glue. But yeah, it just doesn't make sense, because then you're creating a situation. Oh my god, I hate models like this one. I like give up. This is like usually with models like this, I create other structures to keep them up. This is like torture. See, and that's the problem. Like I said, the side that I'm trying to do it on is like the slippery side. Whereas if I did it on this side, I know she would stay a little bit better, but it's just, oh my god. But this is crazy. Like and this is everybody. I love Mantic Games because, of course, I love these guys because they were so nice enough to send me all this stuff. They're really, really excited about working with players and creative people. So people in the hobby like myself that are commission painters, they really want to see people have fun and really like take to the models. It's just crazy to me that you would make a model where literally the only thing that's keeping her on the base is like her foot. Like she's literally in midair. And again, they're not the only company. That GW does this all the time. All the time they do this. They make these crazy models like this. I don't know what to do. Oh, jeez. All right. No, it's too late now because I did all of... Let's see if I can get her to stand on this side. You know what I'm going to do? Here's what I'm going to do. I know exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to use... Yeah. So what I'm going to do is, since these are curved bases, I'm going to use them as an extra level of support for her. So I can put her foot on the ground, but I'm going to use the ridge as like a secondary glue. These might actually be resin. Maybe that's why I'm having so much trouble gluing them. I'm getting more of a sense that maybe all of this is resin. And that's why it's not bonding. Now, it is true that when you use super glue, it doesn't mean every single piece of plastic will always glue. There are surfaces, or it can be a certain like degree of plastic that they use that does not actually so I'm actually using the ridge to help me glue her onto the base. And that trick that I just used where you blow on the glue is a very good trick for folks that are using super glue. I think that's part of why my super glue is not drying, is because I don't have my fan on that I normally have. I'm just going to let gravity do its work on that one. And the blowing trick actually really does work. You just blow on it a few times and you're good to go. Alright, so we got those guys based. So that's 5 models done. I think we're going to cut this video because, man, is it late and I need to get going. But I will not be doing videos this late anymore because I know I think I would have gotten a larger live audience if I did it that way. If you want to see more, I'm going to do a part 2 of building the other infantry units in this, so you guys can see the whole Northern Alliance and what they'll look like. And then we'll obviously be able to get to priming and painting and all that stuff. And we'll see how that's going to go. Yeah, that's not working because it's wood. And I'm so intrigued by what these are made out of. I'm getting more and more the sense that they're made out of resin, but only because of the way the plastic. No, but it's a mold. Nah, these were probably resin. I think they're all resin. I don't think they make plastic models. I mean, it says plastic models. Let's see what it says. trying to look at another box. Yeah, I don't know if they actually say. I think they are resin pieces. I do not think that they are plastic. I think that's part of why. But I mean, they glued together, so I think it's just a super glue. I think it's plastic to wood. I think that's the thing. It's because the two things are not the same thing. Because these are wood laser cut bases, which a lot of people do use for Kings of War, especially if they're going to proxy their army. They use that a lot. But these do look like plastic. This doesn't look like resin. No, this looks like plastic. I think it's plastic. I don't think it's resin, but it's tough because your pincers and stuff will work on resin just like they will work on plastic. So I don't know. I mean, usually if it's resin, it's got a lot of because of the way resin is molded, you usually have all those little like paper thin things because it has to be poured into a mold. No, I think this is plastic. I think it's just so dense. That's why I don't think it's plastic. That's why I'm not sure. It's so dense though. Yeah, so I think I was supposed to. So I might wash these still, because if you wash them, then the primer will stick better. I might do that. I might just throw a little wash on them once they're done drying, so that it looks like plastic. I think this is plastic. Alright, well, we'll find out. But anyway, I'm really digging these models. So again, I love the fact that they look like Vikings and they got like frost people. And I don't know if I can use... I mean, I actually might be able to use these in the Force of Nature. Force of Nature faction. Is there any bad people on this? Yeah, and then what's cool about this, so like to review these cards really quick. So you can play them as named characters or you can play them as regular units. So you can buy multiple. So that's kind of the idea behind buying multiple boxes. So you can model two different trolls or you know, so you can have that snow troll prime and you can have the regular troll. So you can model them both a different way, which is kind of interesting. So cool stuff. I really enjoyed this. Again, these were simple to build. Probably if I just went through, I could build the rest of that army because I did 5 of them in an hour. Didn't seem hard to do at all. I did it all with no build instructions, which I think that says a lot for a company when they don't have to give you the instructions on how to build a model, and it was pretty easy to do so. Again, they really do give you the formed pieces, so it's really, really easy. And I'm intrigued to learn more. I never really learned their Vanguard game, so I'm intrigued to do this. That's why I wanted to get a set for Vanguard. I wanted to get a set for Kings of War so we could start doing battle reports. I know a couple of my buddies have some of the other pieces, so if I had to borrow, they came in with their armies, we can definitely do something. But I have some really interesting ideas. I also might be subbing in some of my Games Workshop stuff so I can use that for Kings of War. And I might, I'll just get movement trays and things so I can do all that. But I really, really like this. I love that they have these like frost, all these like frost-based weapons, and they're all snow-based people, which I think is really cool. And I just love the creature models. I love them. They really do remind me of a mixture of GW and like Horde or War Machine, if you've ever played those games. So very, very cool. All right, well, we'll do a part 2 of this. So I'll keep all this stuff on my desk. And like I said, Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this deeper look at the Northern Alliance Vanguard, Kings of War Vanguard. I'll be doing a spotlight on all the things that we got and videos on building and painting. So we'll do some spotlights on those things. And again, I want a big thank you to Mantic Games for sending me this stuff. They're going to be sending me more stuff, so you guys are going to see a lot of different reviews on the channel. If you also are interested in Games Workshop stuff, I have a couple of videos up, and I'm going to be now moving these videos to my YouTube channel as well. So you can jump over there and see more, because Twitch only allows like the last 2 weeks of what we've done. So I'm going to start archiving my stuff on YouTube to give that audience a chance to watch it. But also, if you want to go back and refer to stuff, we can do that too. But I have the first review of some of the new Necron units for 9th edition for 40K. I'll be doing reviews of new products that are coming out for that as well. And we'll be doing some spotlight painting shows, where we just focus on like Blood Bowl teams, 40K, fantasy, and such. All right, well, thank you guys for watching as always. I'll see you soon, and I'm hoping to do, I'm going to be doing at least one Kings of War video for the next segment, and then I'll be doing painting videos. Today got a little messed up, but tomorrow we're going to be really, really back on track, because I got everything figured out, and I figured out all my equipment, and definitely now understand what I have to do and what I'm going to do moving forward. So again, if you like what you saw, if you liked what you're watching, please consider giving a follow, and we'll be doing some more Kings of War, Mantic Games. We'll be doing more Games Workshop. We'll be doing more. I just got some of the new video game, Ghost of Tetsuma, that just came out. I did some playthrough of that. We're going to keep playing that game. So lots of cool stuff on the channel, and there'll be a lot of other original content and other things that'll be coming. So please stay tuned, and we'll do some painting videos too. I got to get going. It's late. I'll talk to all of you later. And if you're just tuning in this video, take a roll through it. After that, you can also take a look at the video Mantic sent me a box, which gives you an overview or a primer of a lot of their different games, which I'll be reviewing and doing other stuff with. And again, big shout out to Mantic Games for supplying all this cool stuff for me. All right, take care, everybody. We'll see you very soon.